Hi there, and welcome to our next Midweek Memo. I wonder whether you remember it. It was early March, perhaps, just at the beginning, before lockdown. You were walking around down a street that you regularly go along, and as usual, there were people coming up and down the street. You looked forward, and there was someone approaching you. Suddenly, you were beset by a blind panic. You remembered the 2-meter rule. You looked up, you looked down. There's no way this path is 2 meters. What am I going to do? They were closer by this time. So you thought, well, perhaps, I can drop into one of the driveways. Then you thought, no, that's illegal. What else can I do? By this time, they were almost upon you. As they came closer, you thought, perhaps I should just turn around and run back the other way that I've come. And then, glorious relief. They crossed over to the other side of the road, went past you, and you could go on your way. It's hard to imagine, isn't it, what the man with leprosy felt. We were looking at that in Mark's Gospel this weekend. But I think now, with all that we've gone through over the past few months, we have an idea of what it might have felt like. We've got that sense of how this man with his debilitating disease, the way that people stared at him, the way that people looked at him and considered him unclean, unacceptable to God, the way that when they saw him coming down the road, they would cross over to the other side in order to avoid him. Well, the wonderful good news of the gospel is that the Lord Jesus was able to reach out into the isolation of that man's life, reach out into it and say, I am willing, be clean, and so connect with him. And I think as a result, we have a new understanding of what it means that Jesus came to connect us. Jesus came into the isolation of our lives, reached out and said, I am willing, be clean. And that means we're connected in 3 ways. We're connected physically. I can't imagine what that touch must have felt like from Jesus to the man with leprosy. I guess he hadn't been touched for years. Now, of course, we can't feel the touch of God in the same way, and yet we know that Jesus took flesh. We know that he has inhabited a body just like ours. So we're connected physically. Jesus connects us socially. He gives us a new body, a group of people to be connected with. That's the church. And finally, he connects us spiritually. He connects us to God. He makes it possible for us to bridge the great gap created by our sin and the holiness of God and connects us in relationship with the Lord. And because of that, we can be connected again. God longs to have a relationship with us. And because of Christ, that is possible in a way that it has never been. I wonder if I could add a few more thoughts as you consider those. 3 things I'd love to share with you today on this midweek memo by way of notices. Number 1, if you'd like to hear more along the theme of connection in isolation, do join us this evening at the APCM, 8 p.m. on Zoom. You'll be able to follow links to that in your emails. Second, I want to give you a little bit of a heads up, particularly for those with families of younger kids. The Rock TV is going live from the 25th of October, and we're going to be moving the Rock TV slot into the main body of the service. So starting around about 10:15 with live presenters building on the fantastic content and format that many people have already been enjoying up till now. And then finally, one third thing, in this time where we are also isolated and we need to be connected to one another, let me encourage you, whatever opportunity you have, to join us on a Sunday in the church building. It's safe, it's been well scoped out, we're thinking carefully about how we can use the space even better. So do join us to be connected with your church family if you can this Sunday. Thank you.